The surprise you got that ruined your wedding. 3 hours before I was supposed to walk down the aisle, my little nephew came running up to me with my phone in his hand. He'd found it in the parking lot after I dropped it getting out of my car. "Uncle Kendrick, your phone keeps making noises and there's a lady crying on it," he said, handing it over. The screen was cracked, but I could see I was somehow still on a FaceTime call. When I looked closer, I realized it was connected to my fiancée's phone. The call had been going for over 2 hours. I could see her in what looked like her childhood bedroom, still in her pajamas, sobbing uncontrollably. But she wasn't alone. Her ex-boyfriend was sitting on the bed next to her, rubbing her back. My heart stopped when I heard him say, "You don't have to do this today. We can drive to Vegas right now, and you'll never have to see him again." I watched in horror as she nodded and said, "You're right, I can't marry him. I never stopped loving you." They couldn't see or hear me because my camera was facing the ground, but I could see and hear everything. I watched my fiancé of 3 years planning to run away with her ex on our wedding day. She stood up and started throwing clothes into a suitcase while he made phone calls. I heard him tell someone they needed a car ready in 20 minutes. "What about all the people at the church?" she asked. "Text your sister to make an announcement. Tell them you got food poisoning or something," he replied. I was frozen, watching the woman I thought I knew transform into a complete stranger. She was actually laughing now, talking about how relieved she felt. My groomsmen were getting dressed around me, completely oblivious to what was happening. Then I heard her say something that made my blood run cold. "Should I take the ring? It's worth like 15 grand. We could sell it and use the money for our trip to Europe." Her ex laughed. "Hell yes, take it. Consider it payment for emotional damages." She slipped the engagement ring off her finger and tossed it into the suitcase like it was worthless junk. The same ring I'd saved for 8 months to buy. The ring I'd proposed with on the beach where we had our first date. "Oh, and grab that necklace he bought you for Christmas," her ex added. "The diamond one. Good thinking," she said, opening her jewelry box. "Might as well make this worth our while." I realized they weren't just planning to leave, they were planning to rob me on the way out. My nephew tugged on my sleeve asking why I was crying, but I couldn't even speak. That's when she picked up her phone to text her sister, and she saw my face on the screen. We locked eyes through the cracked phone screen. Her face went from relief to pure terror in a split second. "Kendrick, how long have you been?" I hung up and immediately called her sister, who was my maid of honor. When I told her what I'd seen, she started crying and said she'd suspected something but didn't want to believe it. "She's been different for weeks," her sister said through tears. "Distant, always on her phone, making excuses not to talk about wedding plans. I thought she was just stressed." I told my groomsmen everything. The room went dead silent. My best man started pacing